Woohoo!
1986, the year the NES was released worldwide, also happens to be the year I was born. 40 years is a long time, and feels even longer every time I get out of bed. Three of gaming's most important franchises, to me, are also celebrating 40 years. Metroid, Castlevania, and Zelda. Other notable series that have gotten their start in 1986, Wonder Boy, Bubble Bobble, and Dragon Quest. So I thought, what better way to celebrate a worldwide icon that is the Nintendo Entertainment System than to share my top 10 NES games. Now the NES has over 700 titles, and gaming outlets seem to agree what the top 10 overall are. So I decided to add the extra constraint that I can only use the games I owned growing up with the console. So sadly you'll see 0 Mega Man games, and for the most part, if you don't see an obvious one, that's most likely the reason. With that out of the way, the number 10 NES game I owned is Paperboy. And Paperboy started as a 1985 action video game developed and published by Atari Games for arcades. The player takes the role of a paperboy who delivers a fictional newspaper called the Daily Sun to houses on a street while riding a bicycle. The arcade version actually featured bike handlebars as the controller. The primary goal in Paperboy is to deliver papers to subscribers by throwing them either onto the front porch or in the mailbox. Bonus points are awarded for damaging non-subscribers' houses, breaking windows, knocking over tombstones, etc., and hitting certain obstacles with paper. The player has a limited supply of paper and must pick up bundles lying on the ground in order to restock. After completing the route, the player moves onto a training course and can earn points for hitting targets and using ramps to jump over walls, ditches, holes, and with an unlimited supply of papers. Crashing into any obstacle on the route costs the player 1 life. The game consists of 7 levels, each corresponding to a different day from Monday through Sunday. Papers on the Sunday level are heavier than on the early days and thus travel more slowly when thrown. The game ends once each life is exhausted. All subscriptions are cancelled, which is usually how I lost. The Nintendo Entertainment System version was developed by East Ridge Technology and published by Mindscape in December 1988. So why this one is in number 10 is because it is very pick up and play. It was multiplayer. I grew up with a brother and sister, and it was always very fun to try to get high scores and beat either one of them. So there was always an added layer of trying to get the high score to beat my older brother and younger sister. So video games were competitive very early for me, which is hard to tell if you ever watch any of my Let's Plays, because I'm bad at video games for the most part. So yeah, number 10. And number 9 on our list is
Blades of Steel
by Konami. And it is a hockey game that is 2-player, and as I alluded to earlier, having an older brother and a younger sister, anything that was competitive or 2-player was like already a tier above most other video games in our house. Just because it was very fun to like score on each other, get into fights, bash each other. You know, in the game, the gaming context of Blades of Steel. And hockey's already fast-paced and very like kinetic, I guess. and you could hit the pass. It was just, everything was like great for kids, I feel like. It was just kind of mindless. You're just passing and shooting, and then you had to play as the goalie, which was like super difficult because half the time you're still controlling that player by the time the puck gets across. It's all very, very fun. I would say like the biggest detriment to the game is that it doesn't have the original 6 hockey teams, which as somebody from Michigan, it was very annoying to not be able to pick Detroit. So I had to pick Chicago because at least they were like red and black. Close enough, I guess, you know? At Blades of Steel was always a fun time. I could still play it right now with somebody. Have fun. If you've ever played like Nintendo's Ice Hockey, it's very similar, but I don't know, like the fighting adds like a whole other level to the game. So yeah, number 9, Blades of Steel. And number 8 on our list is Super Mario Bros. 2. Which, you know, if you watch Donkey at all, is Game of the Year every year. But, right now, it's number 8. And growing up, we didn't have the incline, or the knowledge, that this was not actually a Mario game. It's really like Doki Doki Panic in Japan, and they released it as Mario USA or something over there too, so it was that popular in the States that even Japan got the version of Mario and Luigi. But yeah, this one was a very, very fun game. Like, it sucked that it wasn't 2-player, because, like, again, older brother, younger sister, wanted to play games with them, so. But Mario always said that thing where you like passing the controller anyways, so it wasn't that big a deal. We would just switch off between levels. And a lot of people will say that the princess is the best, because she can, like, float and basically fly over half the levels, but I was always a Toad man, you know? Like, fast, speedy, picking up stuff quick. That was way better. And Luigi plays absolutely insane here. It was the first time that they were really different, Mario and Luigi. So that was nice that there was so much variation to play this game in so many different ways. But yeah, I don't think it's as good as even the first Mario game, and I guess it turns out it's not a Mario game. But on the NES at the time, it was like, there's so much to do here, and it's so different, and all the characters were different, like the Shy Guys, and like Birdo, and there's so many things that have stayed in the Mario franchise from this one weird little game. That's kind of nuts. Like, I wish the little ninja dudes would come back, though. They're cool. You don't really see them very often. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. 2, it's just picking up fruit, whipping stuff. You have to collect a certain amount of cherries, I think it's 8 or something, to get a superstar, and then you can be invincible, and if you kill a certain number of enemies, which I have actually no idea what the number is on that, you'll get like a heart, so you can recover some health. The weird little genie bottles are cool, so you can like go into like different little areas and like get coins, so you can gamble. You can gamble in the game, which I was always really bad at. So you get lives. Yeah, like Super Mario Bros. 2 is like a really, really good game, but it is not my favorite Mario game by a lot. But yeah, that is number 8. And number 7 is a game I feel like no one ever talks about for some reason. And every time I play it, I think about moving it up the list. But it's Wizards and Warriors by Rare. And in this game, you're like a knight. You're just going and trying to save a bunch of princesses. And it's brutal. It's very hard. I think the last boss in this game might be the hardest boss of any game I've ever played. Like, that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, it's very fun. You're basically wandering around the woods, getting keys, opening doors, finding chests. You have to collect a certain amount of treasure before you can progress to the next area. And there's so many different mechanics that's like super interesting. There's like a potion of levitation, so you can like rise off the ground a little bit before you jump. You get a shield like pretty much right away that just like helps you take less damage. There's throwing knives that you can find. The boots of force, kind of annoying, because like, yeah, they're really cool, like when you're like just kicking open chests, because you don't need any keys. But as soon as you find like the potion of levitation, I think replaces it. Something else replaces it too. I think the wand. So I think the wand replaces it, which is cool. But then you can't open any more chests. You can't even get the boots back from the chest. You just got the stupid wand in. So it's kind of a bummer, because I would rather just like keep those and just not have to find keys. But that is basically the main gameplay, is finding keys, getting treasure. And there's like a night that won't let you pass until you get enough treasure. It's a very fun game. It's got one of the coolest soundtracks in the entire NES library to me. Again, I keep thinking about like putting this higher, but all the other games I feel like are so much better. But you never really hear anyone talk about this game, which is weird. Like, it's hard, you're a knight, it's kind of like, I don't want to say Dark Soulsy, but it is kind of Dark Souls, where you're just like going through different areas, finding different things. Like, I guess it's like also Metroid-y and like Castlevania in that way, where like you're just gated, which is definitely more of a Metroid thing. Like, you have to find a certain thing to go here and there. But yeah, it's very fun. If you've never played it, which I'm sure many people haven't, because I don't know how many people talk about it or heard about it, but one of my favorite NES games by a lot. It's very good. If all the other ones weren't so beloved by me, I would put it higher for sure, but can't do it. It's gonna have to be number 7. So yeah, Wizards of Warriors. Play it if you haven't. There's 2 sequels, also on the NES. I never really got into those because they gave the main character googly eyes, and it just looks like cartoony and stuff, which is fine, but like, I liked how gritty for the NES the game looked originally. So yeah, it's very fun. It's hard, but also like as one of the best checkpoint systems out of any game on the NES. Like, you literally die and hit continue, and you're like starting where you died, basically. So it's pretty forgiving in that way, but it's also like input control hard, I guess. NES hard, as they say. And number 6 is a 2-pack. It's Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. So I'll talk about Duck Hunt first, because there's not that much to say about it. Even, like, as a kid, I feel like you played it, like, a few times. Like, there's the clay thing, there's the duck thing, you shoot the TV. It's very fun. It's, like, I don't know, gimmicky. I don't know, it just wears thin, like, really quick. Until later in the school year, you find out that player 2 can actually control the ducks. So, like, half the time you're just like, oh, I'm gonna dodge, you can't shoot me. It's very funny. That's a cool, like, little part of it. But overall, it's just like, you've played it once, it's fine, you know. But I will say, like, growing up, like, all of the adults really liked playing that one. It was just like something about a gun instead of a controller for them seemed to like really resonate. But yeah, again, it's like, it's kind of like the Wii almost, where it's like, oh, you can bowl or you can shoot ducks. Like, it's very like, I don't know, adult focused. But then Super Mario Brothers, one of the greatest games of all time, still. Basically, I mean, it was like, so Rob and all that stuff with with like it being like toy, basically. It was like a Trojan horse for Nintendo to get the NES into retailers to start, because video game, you know, crashed in America. They didn't really crash in Japan or in Europe, but in America it was like seen as this like taboo thing, like, oh, this isn't gonna work anymore. Like, it's a fad, it's over. Think like Tamagotchis, you know? They're probably still cool in Japan, I don't know, but in America, they were a fad. They're gone, you know? So, that's basically how video games were seen until Rob the Robot and his little gyros, which if you ever played that, not that fun. Pretty whack. But it was just a way for them to get the NES into stores. And then Super Mario Bros. 1 really sold everybody on Nintendo. It's just amazing. It's a great game. It's still great. I don't know how to explain how great it feels just to control Mario through the levels. Like, compared to like Adventure Island or like any other side scrollers at the time, it was just like so much more fluid and like precise, I guess would be the best way to describe it. You feel like you really have control over your character. And it's great. It's a franchise now. It's the biggest gaming franchise aside from Pokemon. And, you know, yeah, it's Mario. You jump on Goombas, you go down tubes. You've probably played Super Mario Bros. 1. And if you haven't, you still should, because it's fun. It's like a half hour. But yeah, that is number 6. Super Mario Bros. 1 and Duck Hunt. And for number 5, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project. So, again, having siblings made beat-em-ups very fun. It's just a very fun game. You just go, you start off on the beach, because you're on vacation, because, you know, the turtles need a vacation from all the Shredder stuff. And right away, they're watching a report. April's on the news. Boom. Shredder. What does he do this time? Not only does he kidnap April O'Neil, but he also steals the entire island of Manhattan. And just raises off the ground. So yeah, for like the first, I don't know if it's like half, but like first third of the game, you're trying to get back to New York. So you're on beaches and you're on docks and you're in the water. It's very like far different locations than say like Ninja Turtles 2, where it's all like sewers and cement, you know. Granted, you do get to the bridge that's broken and that's cement, but there's just so many more like, I don't know, silly, cartoony, visual things in this game where like you can hang off the submarine at one point. You'll fall off eventually, but it's just very like, it's just very funny. It's very cartoony. Yeah, and it's very fun. Like, it's so much better just because it is a 2-player game. So, playing with my brother and sister, again, it's a very fun game. You're just going around killing foot soldiers, and it's fine. Because in the cartoon, they're robots. They're not even real people. You don't even have to feel bad about these freaking foot soldiers. It's great. Then you got the classic bosses. You got Rocksteady, Bebop, you know, Slash later on. And of course, because Turtles 2 already came out, the final fight is Super Shredder. So, again, it's just Konami at their peak NES. I will say that the flicker, because there's a lot of flicker in this game from too many enemies on screen. That gets a bit annoying. But other than that, it's very fun. It's a great co-op game. Sitting next to your best friend, playing this, drinking High C, Ecto Cooler. It's not much better, you know? So yeah, number 5. Now, number 4 is one of the last games that was published on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that is Kirby's Adventure. So, I guess this is like Mega Man's spot, because I didn't have Mega Man, but Kirby's powers are very similar. You just get all the powers from the enemies you encounter. Only complaint I would say about this entire game is it's way too easy until the very last boss, and then it's like very good, like, power creep difficulty curve for Nightmare. But yeah, it's so much fun. Like, it really shows that it, like, Nintendo knew everything about, or HAL Laboratory knew everything about the limitations and what they could get out of the enemies. Like, every background is detailed. There's so much going on screen. But it never feels like overwhelming. It just feels like a nice stroll. A nice Sunday stroll. Until you get to Nightmare. But yeah, Kirby's just fun. It's a fun, easy game. I think anyone could probably beat it. But there's also a completionist element to it, because there is a percentage on the start screen. I think this is the first game I ever 100%ed, because I played it that much. Yeah, just like... So I feel like the first 2 worlds, there's not really any secrets, but after that, like, every level, if you don't beat it completely, the door won't turn white, it'll just stay, like, flashing, and it's like, whoa, what's that about? Your little kid brain's like, why isn't this door cleared? I beat the level, I got the, like... I can go to the next one. So yeah, then you just go and you find like a tiny little secret you didn't find before. It could be like a part of a level or just like a power up. But yeah, it's just very fun, like doing all that, finding everything. It's a very fun, easy game. And it's number 4 on our list, Kirby's Adventure. So, number 3 on our list is probably not a surprise to anyone who's watched this channel. And the only thing that might be a surprise is it's not Castlevania 3, but I didn't own Castlevania 3, I owned Castlevania 1. And Castlevania is one of my favorite series of all time. It's like... It's kind of like the Beatles. This is going to be a weird analogy. But it starts out very, like, arcadey and, like... linear, just, okay, do this, high score, all that. And then the series, it's almost like as I got older, or as the Beatles matured, takes a different route. And you get the Metroidvania out of it, with like Symphony of the Night, or Area of Sorrow. So it always felt like it kind of growed up with me, like, oh, I used to play this amazing, like, it was still an amazing game. Like, 1 is still so fun. Like, you're just going around killing these movie monsters. It's like a spoof game they made. Like, the end credits is so funny. It's like Bela Lugosi and stuff's in it. It's like not taking itself seriously at all. And then later down the line, like, if you've watched the Castlevania Netflix show, too serious almost. So it's very funny. But yeah, it's a great game. If I owned 3, it'd probably be here instead, but I didn't. I owned 1. And it can be frustrating hard at times, but it also has a very generous, like, checkpoint system with the doors in the game, so... You know, you might be taken out by a bird or a Medusa head or 2, but, you know, you get right back on that horse. You know. It's also very beatable. It's very fun. Slow, deliberate. I've talked about it before in my Castlevania anniversary collection review. So, if you want me to go more in depth, you can watch it there. I'll link it somewhere. But yeah, Castlevania is still one of my favorite games on the system, and one of my favorite games of all time. So, number 3. And for number 2 is the NES game I've probably played second most out of all the games I ever owned, and that is Metroid. Let's just take a second to appreciate how good this intro music is. Now it's funny, because when I was playing this one for my review footage, my wife hated the music in the item collect rooms, so it's very funny. I love this music so much. It conveys exactly how the game feels to Samus. It's like you're all alone on this alien planet. You don't know what the hell's going on, and you're just kind of left to your own devices, and you just kind of have to wander around. Now, to be fair, if the game did come with a relatively detailed, at least with like story and like what you're supposed to do in it, booklet. And I probably wrote so much stuff, like between the password system being written down to just making my own map in the actual booklet itself, because I had like 3 or 4 like empty pages to just write down notes, which again is just so like interesting, and I think that's why I've always gravitated to this game, is because it's like, figure it out, dum-dum. Like, yeah, it tells you that you have to beat Kraid and Ridley, and that's kind of about it, like, and then Mother Brain, but like that's kind of the whole thing. It's just, okay, well, here's your objectives. You have 3 things you have to do to beat this game. Go do it. And then, like, has like all the items that you can find, so it's like, it's all very like enticing. Like, oh, okay, like, I need this to get to this. Again, I talked about this with the Wizards and Warriors thing. It's like, Metroid really does like a lock and key thing where like, oh, I can't jump any higher than this. Oh, I need the high jump later to get the Varia suit, you know, like, everything's gated behind things, which is very fun. And it has the first, like, really mind-blowing, I guess, gaming moment where you just go to the left instead of the right, because, like, it's basically training you to not just play like Mario. Like, hey, there's stuff over here. You didn't even look over here. And it's just, like, super interesting. I just love everything about this game. Like, yeah, it's crude and, like, obtuse, and a lot of it looks the same because they use the same tile set over and over again, but I don't know, it's just, like, the emptiness, the loneliness, you're left to your own devices, there's not somebody talking in your ear, like in Metroid Dread, and then fuck, why can't I think of the other one's name? Metroid Fusion. Yeah, there's not somebody talking to your ear like in Metroid Fusion, and then later Metroid Dread, or like, you know, like Navi and Zelda Ocarina of Time. Like, you're just kinda figuring it out. I don't know, it's just like so fun. Like, I just love going back and playing this game. Like, once you know where everything is, then it's just how quick can you beat it? And there's rewards for that too. With like losing your helmet and then losing your suit when you complete the game. So yeah, there's like so many enticing ways to make this game more interesting than like any other game I've ever played before this. Like, this literally like was a revelation for And at number 1, The Legend of... No, I'm kidding. I didn't have The Legend of Zelda growing up. I wish I did. I could have said all that stuff about Metroid, about Zelda, how different it was, and how lock and key, and, you know, etc., etc. But I didn't own Zelda growing up, sadly. I wouldn't get that until much later. I was, like, in high school or something. So, number 1 is Super Mario Bros. 3. The best Mario game they ever made. And it's still the best Mario game they ever made. And it has, like, the little Versa mode for, like, 2 players, where it's just the actual Mario Brothers game, basically, for the arcade. This is the best platformer of all time, to me. I think it's still just as fun to play. It's still challenging without being impossible. It's still addictively fun. It's fast. It's fluid. Yeah, just every level's fun. There's secrets to find. You can fly with a raccoon tail. You can't do that in Super Mario World. I can tell you that right now. Get a cape, and it's weird. It's still fun, but not as fun. But yeah, all the suits. You got Frog suit. You got the Hammer Brothers suit. You got the Tanuki suit. Like, it's great. It's great. Just great. It doesn't save. I think that would be very clutch. In fact, I think only Kirby's Adventure out of all of these saves, which is a bit disappointing, but yeah. Very replayable, very fun. It's 2-player. Sitting next to my brother and sister, fighting over who gets to play next. And it's a weird little card games, and everything about it's great. I don't know what else to say. You get the Koopa kids. Forgot what they're Koopalings. So there's like variation in the bosses. It's not just Bowser every time, like in one. And all of the ships are interesting and different. Again, building upon one, where there's just so many more levels here, and there's so much more variation, and like some of them are timed, like the camera is moving with you, and like if you go too slow, you're dead. There's just the music's great, like every level is great. There's there's so many one-off ideas, like the sun. That's like one level. You know, it's crazy. Or like the boot, like you get a boot that you can jump in and jump on anything, and that's one level. They just don't recycle ideas. Like, say what you want about Nintendo, but every single time they set their minds to do something different and unique and weird, like, it works. So yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the best NES game that I owned, and it's probably the best NES game that anybody owned. So, feel free to disagree in the comments, or just tell me the games that you owned when you were growing up, and rank those. Because it's a lot harder than just, oh, well, this 2 is obviously Zelda, you know, like, 3 would be Castlevania 3, you know, like, it'd be so much easier if I owned every single game that I loved, but I didn't, so. I mean, no Mega Man on here is crazy. Like, Mega Man 2, amazing game, so. Again, let me know what games you owned in the comments below, or if you think Paperboy's whack. That one was the toughest one to place, because, again, I had, like, Rampage could probably go there, because it's a pretty fun 2-player game, and it's still arcadey. I had Burger Time, like, there was contention with 10. Everything else I feel like is where it should be, but yeah, 10 was tough. 10 was definitely the hardest, so you have fun with that in the comments. You figure out your number 10. It's harder than it seems. 1, that's easy. 1 through 5, I would say, is easy, and it gets muddied through the rest there. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Same bunny time, same bunny channel.